My name is Jonathan Nagel, and this presentation is to outline what happened during Asiana Airlines Flight 214 and the subsequent crash flying into San Francisco International Airport. Again, a quick flight overview. This is Asiana Airlines Flight 214. It's a Boeing 777 wide body. Departed Incheon International Airport in Seoul, Korea, with the destination of San Francisco International Airport. Estimated arrival was late morning on July 6th, 2013. Real brief accident overview. On July 6, 2013, at 11:28 Pacific Standard Time, while on approach to runway 28 left at San Francisco International Airport, the aircraft struck the seawall and slid down the runway. The aircraft did come to rest approximately 2,400 feet from the initial impact. Post-crash fire destroyed the aircraft. Some quick details on the flight crew involved. The pilot flying, otherwise will be referred to in some of these slides as PF. An individual at the time of the accident, age was 45, had 9,684 total flight hours, with 3,729 of them acting as PIC. Hours in the 777 was 33 actual and 24 in the simulator. He did not have any previous accidents or incidents recorded, and he was also conducting the flight as a captain in training. That is very important to note. The pilot monitoring in this accident, otherwise referred to from here on as PM, age 49. He had 12,307 total flight hours, with over 9,000 of those acting as PIC. And he also had no previous accidents or incidences that were recorded. Interesting notes here for the flight crew training. The pilot flying, or PF, highlights. He started his training in 1994 as a new pilot, never flown before, and he continued his training until completion in 1996 in Florida. He started training immediately on a 737 in 1996, served as a 737 and also a 747 first officer until he was upgraded to captain in December of 2005. He was upgraded to captain of a A320 in October 22nd of 2007 and continued to fly there until transitioning to the 777 starting in March 25th of 2013. He did complete simulator proficiency on May 18th of 2013, and his line-oriented flight training check was completed on May 30th, 2013, just a little over a month before the accident occurred. Also, of note, the pilot flying flew with 3 separate IPs during his OE training. IP1 noted errors were made, but they were appropriate for his training level, being that it was the first check for the pilot flying the PF during his OE training. The IP2 indicated that nothing stood out at all concerning the training, and the third IP that he flew with indicated that the PF did not appear organized or prepared for his flights. He indicated that he also deviated from several SOPs and also performed high descent rates on short final during his simulator. And as far as the pilot monitoring, or the PM, highlights for his flight crew training, he served as a pilot in the Republic of Korean Air Force. He was hired by Asiana Airlines February 1st of 1996 with the initial qualification of a 767 first officer. He did get a captain upgrade several years later, March 21st of 2001. Transition to 777 captain January 16th of 2008, and began his 777 IP training May of 2013, completing it the middle of June 2013. And the accident flight was the PM's first flight acting as an IP. Also of note, the IP training records indicated good performance or very good performance for all of his flights. One instructor indicated the PM had good character and personality and also felt he could make a good instructor. The PM's final check flight indicated good capability and skill as an instructor and that he followed all procedures correctly. A little more detail on the aircraft history of the aircraft involved. Again, it was a Model 777. That's a Dash 200 ER with the serial number 29171, manufactured by Boeing. It was completed manufacture at February 6, 2006, and delivered as a new aircraft to Asiana Airlines in March of 2006. It's powered by two Pratt & Whitney's PW4090s. There was approximately 37,120 hours on the aircraft at the time of the crash, with a total of 5,388 cycles. Asiana Airlines did maintain aircraft in accordance with the manufacturer's recommended continuing maintenance program, and the last maintenance on that aircraft was June 28, 2013, just a few days prior to the accident, with 36,992 hours. No indications were given in the reports that there were any faulty equipment on board the aircraft. The primary causal factors of the accident is clear mismanagement of the airplane's descent during visual approach, the PF's unintentional deactivation of automatic speed control, inadequate monitoring of the airspeed, and delayed execution of go-around procedures. What occurred here was they were coming in a little faster than anticipated. The PF was unable to capture a good descent as he was coming into the airport, subsequently reporting several times during the descent that he was high. He knew he was high, made several corrections while trying to get down to a glide slope of 3% or 2.98% that it is on runway 28 left there at San Francisco. During those actions, he subsequently disabled the automatic throttle speed control on the aircraft, and by the time all of these things were recognized, they were sliding below glide slope, coming in low and also slow. Several maneuvers were made, pitching up the aircraft in an attempt to perhaps capture the glide slope or slow the descent rate. By the time they recognized that the speed was inadequate to continue to the runway surface, it was already too late, but they did execute go-around procedures. Unfortunately, the aircraft was below the minimums allowed or available for the aircraft to make that recovery, and subsequently crashed into the seawall at San Francisco. Following the accident and the NTSB investigations, there were several recommendations that were made to the FAA. Several of them revolve around requiring Boeing to develop enhanced training for their auto throttle system in the 777. It also recommended revise to Boeing's training manuals for stall protection. And they also tasked a panel to develop design requirements for low energy alert systems. The NTSB also made recommendations to Asiana Airlines, some of which were for them to reinforce adherence to their SOPs or their standard operating procedures, revise the flight instructor OE, which required the initial flights for an instructor to spend some more time as an acting instructor with individuals or pilots that are of higher qualifications than the PF was in this incident. Also modify their automation policy to provide more manual flight to improve flight proficiency away from automation, flying by stick. Also, NTSB recommendations to Boeing involved developing modifications to ensure that aircraft energy state remained at or above minimum desired energy condition during any portion of the flight for all commercial airlines. And as a final cap to this presentation, I think it's important to note that it all began with standard operating procedures not being followed regarding coming in. And probably a big part of it was the lack of experience by the pilot flying and the pilot monitoring not catching or capturing the errors that were being made in time. Subsequent training following all of this would certainly help, and the recommendations that were laid out by the NTSB would certainly help as well with regards to all of this. My reference material for this presentation was solely the NTSB report on ntsb.gov.